Magandang araw mga bata! Kumusta kayo? Sa ating pagsisimula, tayo muna ay sandaling manalangin. Kamay ay ititiklop, ulo ay iyuyuko, mata ay ipipikit, at tayo manalangin. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa araw na ito na ipinagkaloob niyo sa amin at kami ay makakapakinig na naman ng panibagong storya at aralin mula po sa aming guro. Itago niyo po siya sa inyong likuran at patuloy na kami bigyan niyo po ng karunungan at focus, Panginoon, sa oras na ito. Ito po ang aming panalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen. Noong nakaraang Sabado, ang pinag-usapan natin ay patungkol kay Jonas at ang malaking isda. Tayo ay sinamahan ng isa sa ating mga teacher na si Teacher. Tatandaan niyo ba kung sino yung teacher na yon? Si Teacher Leila. Tama. At doon sa story, kung natatandaan natin, si Jonas ay sinubukang tumakas sa utos ng Panginoon na magpunta sa Nineveh pero hindi siya nakatakas hanggang siya ay mapunta sa tiyan ng malaking isda dahil siya ay kinain nito. 3 araw at gabi siyang nanatili doon at narealize niya na hindi pala dapat siya tumakas sa utos ng Diyos, lalo na kung ang gagawin ay ang pagpapalaganap ng pagmamahal at kapatawaran niya sa mga tao. Ngayon naman, ay panibago na naman tayong matututunan at mayroon na namang bagong hayop tayong may encounter sa story natin na ito. Kung ano ito, alamin natin sa ating panonood sa Story of the Day. Tayo ay makinig ng mabuti at mag-focus sa mga detalye ng ating story. Tara!
Stories of the Bible. Daniel in the Lion's Den. This is Daniel.
Oh, hey!
Who was a Jewish man who was taken to Babylon when he was very young.
Yeah.
Daniel loved God and followed God's rules. He talked to God 3 times a day and asked God for help often. Daniel served in the Babylonian king's court for many years
Yeah, I know him.
and under many kings.
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel always proved himself to be more capable than all the other court officials.
Thanks. Well, anytime.
Daniel was serving under King Darius, and because of his great abilities, the king made plans to place him in charge of the entire empire.
Wow, okay.
The other court officials searched for some fault in Daniel, but they couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was faithful, responsible, and completely trustworthy.
Wait.
The court officials realized the only way to get at Daniel would be to challenge his faith.
Come on.
So they went to King Darius
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
and advised him to make a law that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone except King Darius will be thrown into the lion's den.
I like it.
King Darius signed this law, and once a Babylonian king signed a law, it could not be overruled. When Daniel learned of this law, he went home and knelt down, as he always did, to pray in his room with the windows open towards Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had done, giving thanks to God and asking for his help. The officials went to Daniel's house and found him praying.
Gotcha.
They went to the king and reminded him of the law.
I remember.
Well,
Then they said that Daniel had been found praying to God 3 times a day.
What?
When the king heard this, he was very upset,
Get over here.
and he spent the whole day trying to think of a way to save Daniel.
wait, what?
By that evening, the court officials came back to the king and reminded him that no law signed by the Babylonian king could be overruled. So at last, the king gave orders for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. The king said to him, "May your God, who you serve faithfully, rescue you." Then the lion's den was sealed shut with Daniel inside. The king spent the night fasting and couldn't sleep. Then very early in the morning, the king hurried to the lion's den. He called out,
Hey, Daniel.
"Was your God able to rescue you from the lions?" And Daniel answered, "Long live the king! My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me, for I have been found innocent in his sight." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be taken out of the lion's den. Then the king ordered the men who had schemed against Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den as punishment. Daniel was safe. There was not a scratch on him, for he trusted in God.
Sa story na ating narinig, nakilala natin Sino nga ulit yung character sa story? Si Daniel, na isa sa mga alagad ng Diyos. Siya raw ay nagdadasal ilang beses sa isang araw? Tama, 3. Bukod dito, siya rin ay kinalulugdan ni Haring Darius at dahil dito, marami ang nainggit sa kanya. Kaya ginawan nila siya ng issue para siya ay masira sa hari. Dahil sa issue na ginawa nila patungkol kay Daniel, siya ay naipatapon sa kulungan ng mga leon. Tama, inaasahan nilang lalapain si Daniel ng leon pero dahil sa kanyang pananalig ay pinakinggan siya ng Diyos at siya ay naligtas. Sinara ng Diyos ang bibig ng mga leon at si Daniel ay nakalabas ng ligtas. Dahil dito, nalaman ng mga tao na ang Diyos na kanyang dinadasalan ng 3 beses sa isang araw ay tapat at totoo. Ayun lang mga bata ang lesson natin for this Saturday. Naway maging kagaya rin tayo ni Daniel sa pagtitiwala na naririnig ng Diyos ang ating mga panalangin. Kahit ano pa man ang ating mga idinudulog sa Kanya, naririnig niya ito at hindi niya tayo pababayaan o iiwan kailanman. Tayo ay manalangin muli. Kamay ay ititiklop, ulo ay iyuyuko, mata ay pipikit at tayo manalangin. Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa paalala mo sa amin na kami ay patuloy mong pinakikinggan sa tuwing kami ay nananalangin. Bigyan niyo po kami ng pusong patuloy na umaasa at nananalig, Panginoon, sa kadakilaan at katapatan mo sa buhay ng bawat isa. Ingatan niyo po yung mga batang ito na nakikinig sa aming Children's Hour. At nawa sa mga susunod pa pong araw ay marami pa pong bata yung ma-reach ng video na ito, Lord God, para malaman din po nila kung gaano nyo po kami kamahal at kung gaano kayo katapat sa buhay namin. Ito po ang aming panalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.